What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I just finished watching the final episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. My reaction is going to be under my YouTube memberships, so make sure you go over there and check that out. If you're not a member yet, I suggest you go over there and become a member today so you guys can go and watch my reactions to all of the shows that I watch, movies, Uncut Try Not to Laughs, priority replies, special polls, live streams. So go over there and check that out. This was a really good episode. I give this I give this definitely 5 out of 5 toodles. I really enjoyed it. I didn't realize that it was this short. I didn't know that it only had 6 episodes. I didn't notice that up until today, but it was so cool to see Sam come in as Captain America with his wings. Like the way that he flew in and made his entrance into that office through the window, like the shield came first and then he came busting through and stood up. I was like, oh, that was so cool. That was pretty cool. So of course they took down, or they thought that they took down, all of the this group of the super soldiers that I keep forgetting the name of, but Carly is like, I guess she's like the ringleader of them or whatever. So she is really, last episode we saw that they were getting ready to take down that the senator and that whole government building or whatever. So they ended up shutting it down. They barricaded everybody with, they had so many bodies on their team, like it was ridiculous. I mean, these people got people in the military, police officers, like it was crazy. Sharon popped up a few times in this episode, discreetly, of course. But so we see that this is just started straight off with fight scenes throughout the whole thing up until, the end. But anyway, seeing Sam be Captain America was pretty darn cool. I loved the message that he brought. I love the fact that he embraced what his friend trusted him with by giving him the shield. And so, in the last episode, seeing him practice and practice and practice to the point where he got it down, and now he's putting it to use in this episode is pretty darn cool. Bucky, he definitely did his thing as well. Then at some point, this dude, Mr. Walker, showed up with his makeshift shield. I don't know what he was doing. I didn't know where that was going to go, but he ended up helping Bucky and Sam, and he ended up saving people. He initially was out for blood trying to find Carly, while Carly was in the middle of getting into a fight with Sam and everybody who was after her. So she just stayed on the run. And I think at some point, she ran, I think, no, Walker and Bucky ended up using some type of app to get the other 3 members that were by her side, Carly's side, down to the same area so they can get caught by the cops. That was accomplished. So they ended up using Sharon ended up, you know how they kind of whistle to each other? That's their like call or whatever. I think Sharon ended up doing that and calling her down. And I didn't know that she worked for Sharon at some point. But Sharon was kind of telling her, you need to stop. You can come back and work for me. All of you can. I was just like, well, Sharon is trying to be good somewhat or whatever. But that didn't last too long, because that post-credit scene at the end of this episode was not good. But we'll get to that. So anyway, Carly ended up getting killed because the guy that Carly trusted, the dealer that she met up with in the last episode, he was actually hired by Sharon. And so he actually popped up where they were. And I don't know, he shot her and she shot Sharon. They all kind of shot each other. And no, he didn't shoot Carly. She shot her, but somebody else shot him. Sam ended up showing up, and she kept wanting to fight him, and him wanting him to fight her back, and he just wouldn't do it. And at the end of it all, Sharon ended up killing her. At one point, Sam was trying to take down a helicopter with all the hostages, which I don't know where they were taking these hostages, but he ended up taking one of them down. And at one point, there was a helicopter. It was a police helicopter, and it was spinning out of control. So he pulled the police officers out of the helicopter. And at one point, he landed on the street. And the way that he covered him with the shield and the wings, like that was pretty darn cool to me. That was pretty cool the way that he did that. So then, after all of that, he ended up bringing Carly's body down, and it was like too early. Like, I'm like, this isn't over yet. Like, there's other things that's about to happen. I know there is. So the 3 people that was with her got caught up by the cops. They were going to be taken to some in the water, high level security prison where what's his name is the one with that actually ran off, got caught up. And while they were putting them in the truck to be transported, these were like military dudes from the Navy, and you heard one of them say, what is it, one world or the saying that they say. So I'm like, yo, they got people in the military. So I knew that that was too good to be true. Like, I had a feeling that something else was going to go down. Like, it wasn't easy. It wasn't going to be easy for them to just get arrested and get taken away. So they were all in on basically, I think, in my opinion, helping them escape, because the military guy, after he said that and he closed the door on him, the truck exploded. So now it's all over the news that 3 or 4 people that were part of this group has died. I don't believe that. I think they escaped. It was all a plan. I don't know how they're gonna come back with this, if there is gonna be a second season for this, but I think they escaped with the help of the soldier. Yeah. So aside from that, then you saw like this big part at the end of this episode where Sam is really going in on the senator, and now it's just being flashed all over the news, and he's really basically handing him his behind. Like, he's telling him how unfair it is, how all the things that they were trying to do, people don't know why. And then he brought up the race, and then he brought up the things that this group was doing, and nobody's asking questions. And he really, like, it was almost like a really, really powerful moment in the episode, which I absolutely loved. Like, I was like so stuck on that. So aside from that, he ended up going to meet up with the other super soldier that is on the low, like the one that lives with the boy. I don't know if it's his grandson or something. Mr. Isaiah, who I don't know, doesn't want to be called Isaiah. But anyway, he goes to him, he's talking to him, and he's getting, basically, you can tell he's kind of softened up with him. They're having a conversation, and he's just like, letting him know, like, so you're the Black Captain America now. He's just like, you're damn right. So he takes him to the museum, where now the guy's fear was that, he changed his name, he changed his identity. He didn't want anybody to know who he was, which was unfortunate, because that just meant that nobody would know what he stood for, what he did for this country or anything. That was just washed away. Now he just wants to live, because if people find out who he is, he can get killed. So he was like, look, get yourself together. I'm going to show you something. He took him to the museum, where he has, somehow Sam made it happen to where there's a statue of him, and there's a plaque with his name and everything that he did for this country. And it was such a moving moment. Like, I got misty eyed. I didn't cry, but I got misty eyed. I thought it was very, very powerful and very heartwarming for him to do that for him, even though he's like laying low with his identity. The fact that he did that for him was really, really cool and really, really nice. And I was all in my feels about that. So that was really nice. So, and I guess everyone's having a good time, at the dock where his sister is, and everyone's, joining in the fun and food and family, and people are taking pictures, and everything's going pretty good. So now we see that Sharon is in court with the senator and everybody else, and they're trying to right their wrongs now. So, now that I say that, another sad part for me was when Bucky went back to his friend's house, the Asian guy, and sat there and told him the truth about his son. Oh my gosh. Like, I felt the guy's pain when he said, "Why?" I was like, oh man. And it was such a small moment. And I'm glad that they kind of left that, because it's almost like you didn't even have to go in on the pain that he probably would have felt after that. But I guess that was Bucky's way of finally righting his wrong. He sent that book that he had all these names into his therapist, told her, "Thank you, I read the book." Now he's kind of like on the right path now. So anyway, fast forward. So Sharon's in court, and the senator's basically trying to right his wrong, and he's offering her like a full pardon, an entire pardon. And she's sitting there crying, teary-eyed, and he's like, you have a place back in your old division. And he offered it to her, and she's like, "It would be my honor." Done, right? Post-credit scene, this chick walks out of there, and she is now, not only does she feel like, okay, we may not have any super soldiers, but we've got the government, all their secrets and everything. And I'm just like, just when I thought that Sharon was kind of, trying to do the right thing, is she's only getting deeper into her ish. So there's got to be a second season coming out. But anyway, those are my little theories and opinions and thoughts about the series of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. 5 out of 5 toodles for this series. I absolutely enjoyed it. It was really, really, really good. I'm kind of mad that it was so short. It was only 6 episodes, but that was okay. I hope you guys enjoyed my reactions and my reviews for them. But leave your comments down below. Let me know if you guys have watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, what you guys thought. What was your favorite part? What do you think is going to happen after this last episode? Do you have the same theories as I do? Let me know in the comment section. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later. Toodles!